Oh man, I'm too short. And we are back. I just played a bit of I played Vampire Weekend. I don't know. I saw a video on TikTok. So this guy was literally on his back deck, and the back deck was icy. I guess it was like that week where the weather was really crazy and there were like ice storms and stuff. So he's literally on the ice and he does this sliding dance where he like keeps putting like one leg in front of the other and stuff. So I decided to just listen to that song because what the heck. So a few things around the Iona community that's going on. I want to say congratulations to the men's basketball team. I know you didn't get the result you wanted, and this tends to happen every year. And I do not say that with any negativity at all because every year they go to the NCAA tournament, they are up against major teams. I remember one year they played Oregon, and Oregon pretty much almost made it to like the Final Four. And North Carolina this year was the number one seed in that Midwest spew. So honestly, you guys put up one heck of a fight in that game. Heck, you were leading at a good chunk of that game, and sadly, you guys couldn't finish the job. But honestly, great job. Next year, you're going to come back bigger and stronger, and hopefully next year you can break out of the first round. The thing that I find with that, and it's kind of, I guess it's kind of big fish, small pond, is that the team has won the MAC tournament for the past 4 years, meaning that they could kind of beat all the other teams within this division, Quinnipiac and such. And so when they go to the NCAA March Madness tournament, they tend to face these like huge teams. And oh man, my audio is a hair off. Whatever. Yeah, this mic is like, I don't know, this mic is weird today. All right, we got it. So every year they go to the NCAA tournament and they face these huge programs, years and years of development, like scouting players from all over the place, potential future NBA stars on these teams. So with that, they tend to lose, and which is sad because this team worked very hard to get there, and they put up a really good fight. So honestly, shout out to the men's basketball team. You guys did amazing. You guys will come back bigger and stronger next year. You got this. So one little thing I'm going to advertise. I tend to not advertise campus events, but we have a new fraternity on campus, and this one is actually quite interesting. It's Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. They have just created a new chapter here at Iona College, the Phi Kappa chapter. Yep. And they're having a neophyte show, which I know a lot of people have never people are like, what the heck? What's a neo show? Because normally with the fraternities and sororities here on campus, what'll happen is you get a bid to your organization, you get invited, you go through pledging, of course, and you don't hear what happens, and then you come out, it's like, welcome to our, I don't know, our epsilon class, whatever, and you get your big things like that. But with neophyte shows, I can't really it's hard to explain. You kind of just have to go, but basically it's formally introducing the new members of the organization, whether it be a founding class like it is in this case, or just is a new line of the sorority and fraternity. This is very common within multicultural organizations like this one shown here. So if any of you want to go, and I do recommend you go because neophyte shows are like the coolest thing ever, it is this Friday at 7:06 p.m. at in Murphy Auditorium. Everyone knows where Murphy is. It's right behind South and Knies and Loftus. So try to go if you can, and then you guys could go out after. Trust me, it's fine. But seriously, it's a very interesting experience to watch. And these men, I don't know how many were on the line and all that. I don't know how many founders there are right now for this chapter. They have worked very, very hard to get to this point, and they just need support. If they see a big turnout, they see that that this Iona community cares, that they have worked hard and have gotten to a place that is that many try to get to and many don't. Like it'll just make them feel that much better that they completed their pledging process and such. And obviously I'm not going to get into detail on that, but seriously, come out and support the newest members of Alpha Phi Alpha. It'll be totally worth it. So now the next thing I'm going to mention, and I'm done advertising campus events. You could see the Real Life for Life advertisements outside, and I actually got a flyer under my door for Real Life for Life. And I know a good chunk of the campus clubs and fraternities and sororities, they participate. They're hosting fundraisers. It's a great cause. and then they all go to that. I don't know if it's like a 12-hour marathon that they do. I have never gone to that. Like, the funny thing is, I kind of like Relay used to be around the time of spring weekend, and I would always dip out on spring weekend. Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm doing. But honestly, Relay is a great cause. It's fighting cancer. If you can participate with whatever club you're in, and or just participate by yourself, you could fundraise with yourself, and then you could go to the 12-hour marathon that they have, and then you could stay up from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m., even though that's what I do on a daily basis, except it's a little more energy, and you could kind of sleep in before you go in for it. So anyhow, now we'll get to video games, because let me tell you, I played a lot of video games over my break, because if I wasn't sleeping, I was up playing video games. So now the thing I'm going to bring up in Smash is the Spirit Board, which I was messing around with, and my god. So for those of you who don't know, like, what is a spirit? So in Smash, they kind of have a story mode, I'll call it, and their story mode is called World of Light. And in World of Light, you basically have to free spirits, which are these I guess I'll just call them items. They're these items that could help you in battle. So for example, one spirit could up your speed, one spirit can up your jump. These are primaries, and primaries have different rankings from novice to legend. And then there are these support spirits. So support spirits, maybe it will, like, for example, one will up your stamina in a stamina battle, which just means that you start at a certain number of HP, and the first one who kicks their opponent down to 0 wins. And then there could be items you may start with, like a gun, or you'll start with a hammer, like things like that. So the Spirit Board, because in World of Light you kind of progress, and sometimes you don't have a spirit that might be required of in a battle. You might have to mess around the Spirit Board a little to get appropriate ones. And the best part about the Spirit Board is you can use your full roster of characters to actually go through it. Because in World of Light you do have to unlock people a little bit at a time, rather than having them all like unlocked at your disposal. You need to unlock them one at a time. You'll come up to certain crossroads, you'll be able to unlock some, and then you'll finally be able to play as them. So in World of Light, that's kind of hard, because some people, like me, my main was available like toward the end of the game, which was really hard for me. I got lucky, and the other thing is, with World of Light, you do learn how to use new characters, and I don't find that bad at all. You might find your new main in there. Like, I played with Lucario for most of it, and I was able to play as him online and stuff. So, it could be a good experience if you find a good main that you might use in the future. But the Spirit Board, you could use whoever you want. You could use any spirits you have. So I'm going to tell you about some of the battles that maybe want to pull my hair out. So we'll start with and we're just going to stick to the Spirit Board here. So one battle is Donkey Kong with Lady. You fight this giant Donkey Kong in a stamina battle. No, it's not time. Thank God. If it was timed, I would have just been like, okay, I'm out. So what you have to do is you have to beat a stamina battle. And I know that sounds easy, but his attack power is up. It's a legend spirit, and also the rankings for the spirits, it kind of determines how hard it is for you to get them, like how hard the battle will be. So for example, a novice spirit, their battle might be a little easier than having to fight a legend spirit. So this Donkey Kong and Lady is a legend spirit, and oh my god. And the worst part is, it's not just you're fighting by yourself. You have a CPU with you, and the CPU honestly does nothing. It doesn't help you at all. And what has happened is, if that CPU gets killed before you fail too. So it's not like the CPU dies and you can keep going. Like, you have to make sure the CPU is okay. So I took like 20,000 tries in this battle, and guess how I won? He literally jumped off the platform, literally. And I was sitting there in shock, like, bro, I just spent like 2 hours on this, and you jump off the cliff. I was done. And so there's some other ones that are just like, why? There is one Nenten. He's from the Earthbound series. That's where Ness comes from. Earthbound was a Japanese exclusive game for a while, and then they released it in the States a little later. So, people wouldn't have necessarily heard of the game, because a lot of times with Smash, especially when I was younger, I didn't know where these people were, what game these people were coming from. Like, you know where Mario was from, okay, whatever. You know where Link is from. You know where Donkey Kong's from. But I didn't know I didn't know what Fire Emblem was. I didn't know what Earthbound was. So, I mean, that tends to happen a lot, especially when you're playing these like these characters from more internationally known games. So, Nintendo, it's a stamina battle, and you think, okay, they only have 50 HP on them. It shouldn't be hard. And the thing with Nest mains is that they shoot PK fires at you nonstop, and you die very fast. What actually bailed me out is I used Lucario, and he got to his final smash. I just pressed B. That's how you activate your final smash. I just shot all of them from the top of the screen. It was great. So, with spirit battles, of course, you have to find which character works for you. Sometimes you could use your main because you could use them inside and out. It's not hard to use them, but also sometimes you do have to use a character that you wouldn't normally use. Like there was one battle where I used Cloud, and I had never used Cloud in my life. Of course, I saw people playing him online. He's a very popular character to play online. He's from Final Fantasy, by the way, if you haven't heard of that game. And so I would just sit there and I would like charge his limit up, which makes his attack stronger. And I was able to beat it relatively easy. I think this was a Paper Bowser. Oh god, that was another hard one. Oh geez, yeah, I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks just thinking about all these spirit battles. So actually, I'm gonna end this little clip here. When we come back, I'm gonna explain a little more about spirit battles and Smash in general. I'll be right back.